master anything you like, what would you want to be? Would you want to become a Michelin level chef? Would you want to finish a triathlon smiling? Or would you want to be fluent in Italian? If you asked me this question maybe a few months ago, I would have told you I want to master how to play the piano. But if you ask me the question today, I will give you a different answer. I will tell you I want to master the skill of how to learn. And you're like, wait a second, Rachel, does that even count as a skill? And yes, absolutely it does. According to neuroscience, learning itself is a skill to be mastered, just as speaking, running, cooking, and doing many other stuff. And this is something I learned very recently, so I want to share with you today. Last weekend, I had the privilege of hosting an event for a very supposedly famous professor called Dr. Barbara Oakley. She is the co-author of an online course called Learning How to Learn. And this course, as its name suggests, teaches people the science of learning. And Professor Barbara Oakley herself has very, very interesting stories. She grew up traveling around the United States, so all the way up she flunked her math through high school. But then after a few years in the military, she decided that she wanted to hack her own brain and maybe go back to school and study science again. And now she is a distinguished professor in engineering. And so during her talk, people were very intrigued by how did she do that and how come she hacked her own brain and learned how to study in the right way. And to our surprises, the answer she gave all of us is nothing that you commonly think. So if we think about the common practice we use when we study or learn, we usually go for highlighting what you read, maybe rereading what you read, maybe making the mind maps of whatever you're trying to study. But according to her neuroscience research, the most powerful way to learn and to study is actually 3 simple tools. And they are retrieval, visualization, and metaphor. Retrieval, visualization, and metaphor. And I'll explain to you one by one. It's a little workshop today. So, first thing, retrieval. What does retrieval mean? It simply means that when you try to learn something, after you study it, you close the book, you turn off your screen, and you try to recall and pull out the knowledge from your own head. In the beginning, it might feel a little bit awkward because you'll find many blanks in your own thinking. But after a few trials, you peek, you try to recall it, you peek, you try to recall it. A few times, it will become more natural to you and things will come into patches. So for me, for example, when I was trying to host the event, I had to introduce Professor Oakley in like a 5-minute introduction. But I couldn't remember the whole thing at once. So what I did, I wrote down the biography. I tried to recall whatever I have written. I say 1 or 2 sentences first. Then I try more sentences until I can patch the whole thing together. So that's tool number 1, retrieval, recalling from your mind. Tool number 2 is called visualization. And visualization, as you know, has something to do with the pictures. Why? Because our brains love the pictures. Okay, let's do a little experiment here. Suppose I give you 3 words right now and ask you to remember them. Are you ready?
Yes.
Koala, violin, and lantern. Yes, okay. Now, if I ask you to keep this at the back of your mind while I'm trying to speak to your face, it might be very difficult to retain them to the very end, unless you're not listening to me. But if I tell you, picture this, a koala playing a violin and holding a lantern on its tail, you might just remember the picture because it's very silly. And that's the whole point. The sillier it is, the funnier it is, the stickier your memory can be. So I use the same trick too with my piano playing. Whenever I'm trying to master a phrase, I will try to remember how the shape of my hand looks like. And that helps me to play better than just mindless repetition. So we've got 2 tools down. Number 1 is retrieval. Number 2 is visualization. Okay, now we're down to number 3. Number 3 is metaphor. So metaphor simply means using something you already know as an anchor to help you understand something new. So let me give you a metaphor for learning itself. Imagine your mind as an octopus with 4 arms. Okay, only 4 arms, not 8 arms, because this is research backed. That we can only hold at most 4 slippery information at once in our working memory. So every time a new information comes into you, this octopus is trying to grab the information and hold it in its hand for you. Now, whenever you practice retrieval, the octopus will pass this ball into the deeper ocean of your long-term memory. But if you only do highlighting or rereading, the octopus stays motionless and does nothing for you. So if you want to really learn something and have it stick to your mind, you have to use the visualization tool, the retrieval tool, and plus the practice of metaphor. So my challenge for you tonight is find a piece of information that matters to you whenever you go home. Maybe it's your sales pitch, maybe it's a Bible verse you're trying to remember, maybe it's your next Toastmaster speech. Try to write it down, close the script, and recall it from your mind, and try to speak it out loud. And you might find yourself just mastering the thing without the wand of the magic wand. So my final line is, master the skill of learning and all other skill will line up politely in front of you for you. Thank you.
Thanks for Rachel's splendid speech and also very insightful and useful. And so what we learned from Rachel, how to learn. The first is retrieval. Yeah. Second is visualization.